Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is I, James L. Seagraves, coming to you from the basement on a Tuesday morning, as it should be. It is 6:29 a.m., and we're going to get to it. Week one of the playoffs is in the books, and going to go over some stuff, go over whatever happened in both playoff brackets, and look ahead at what's going next. Not a lot aside from that to go over. The important part now is the playoffs. We are in the playoffs, folks. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. Top tens, all this, who started who, doesn't even matter anymore. All that matters is moving on, winning, hopefully getting to either the final four of the MUSL bracket or the winner of the suck bracket. But before we go into those details, I would like to say thank you to, I know there were a couple of people who donated to the fundraiser that I posted last week. Really do appreciate it. I know that between what's posted on there and a few other donations that were made offline, I do believe they got to their goal, which is awesome because it wouldn't have happened without, the generosity of people who don't even know these people for the most part. So the people who did donate from this league, I really do appreciate. It means the world to us, and I know it means the world to their family especially. So thank you, and appreciate it. Anyway, going on to the brackets. Let's look here and see what happened this week. The MUSL bracket, we're going to talk about that first. I'm going to go to... here it is. Maybe this is it? I don't even know where I'm going here. Let's see. Well, no, that's not going to be it. It's like weekly recaps, I thought. Or weekly results. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, sorry about that. Week 12, here we go. The Apache Chiefs took on the Patriots and lost 82.11 to 72.46. James St. Germain, it's his first year here. He made light work of Cousin Kale, sending the Apache Chiefs back to the old frontier. See you later. Mama G out of retirement comes up with 88.11 points to knock out Larry Weinberg, who got in on a random card and got sent packing home. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of the fight. I will tell you this. There were 3 games that were decided by last night's kickers, including Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs, Kristen's Weapons of Mass Double Destruction, and the Junior Chiefs. Kristen and Malcolm Rodriguez both needed the Colts kicker to kick 1 or 2 field goals respectively. Obviously, they kicked 1. And then the Junior Chiefs needed the Steelers kicker just to kick 1. He kicked like 14. So, anyway. So, Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs knocks off the Tallywhackers. Now, keep in mind that just 2 weeks ago, the Tallywhackers were in position to win not 1 but 2 conferences. And they blew that. And then this week they blew this, which means that as far as the MUSL bracket goes, it's time to turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all I gotta play it once now. It happens. Call it a night. The party's over. It is indeed over. The party's over for Josh Crampton in an epic collapse. He gets knocked out of the playoffs in week 1 and knocked himself out of the playoffs 2 weeks ago. We love you, Josh Crampton. You're still alive in the suck bracket, which, is something. Gives you something to play for. Maybe you could shut me up by winning that. But, man, epic collapse. But at least you were there. It was more than I can say for myself, so I will give you that. True story. But anyway, in a very intense game, Swag narrowly defeats Low Hanging Fruit, who needed Najee Harris to come up last night. And he came up, just didn't come up enough, So, 3-point victory there. Show me them TDs. Chad Lees lay the freaking hammer down on former champion, password is Taco. 100.96 to 64.68. I want to look at this lineup because this is the highest scoring lineup of the week for the playoffs anyway. He still had Jalen Hurts. He still had Kenneth Walker. Jeffrey Wilson still had A.J. Brown, who didn't even do very well. Still had CeeDee Lamb. He went with CeeDee Lamb. Travis Kelce, Justin Tucker put up some points, and so did the Chiefs' defense. So defenses, I'll tell you, man, defenses will make or break you in this league. The weapons of mass double destruction got smoked because the freaking Saints couldn't score a point on the 49ers. Oh, brutal. Anyway, Cheechki, Nick Harris gets bounced out by Eric Minturn, a wild card who was 4-7. Disappointing ending for Cheechki's season. This is the game I was telling you about. Mick DeBoe's Fly Eagles Fly narrowly defeated Kristen's weapons of mass double destruction because that kicker missed a 61-yard field goal, and the Colts offense is inept. Straight up, it was a terrible game to watch, but it is what it is. And then we have in the final game of this bracket. Fortunately, Ben Miller's team. Ben already had a rough week. I get it. He probably didn't have time to study, you know. I'm not saying he's making excuses, but Jesus. Garrity's Gigolos, old childhood friends here, both Addison class of 2000 members. One comes in and, you know, just puts it to him. 93.63 points for Garrity's Gigolos, 76.38, which is a respectable score, by the way. 76.38 points, not enough to get him in to the next round. Sorry for the throat clearing. And then I had to send out some, now we're going to look at the suck bracket here results. I had to send out some messages to people like, hey, because people don't know this sometimes. Especially this year of all years. It was really weird because most people had a bye in the suck bracket. But not everyone. And these people who didn't have a bye, honestly, are the bottom teams. But you keep playing. So Brad Van Camp's BVC, 3-8 on the year. Defeated the Donkey Punchers, 3-8 on the year, 78.42 to 57.9. Now, the Hitman, formerly Tips and Tricks. Don Mulkey didn't submit a lineup for 4 straight weeks. I had a customer who wanted a team. His name is Rob Shaw, owner of Aardvark Pest Control. Pest Control, almost said Breast Control, which is another business. He came in. Now, if you notice, like, it's not fair to just strip formerly Tips and Tricks from this name because I don't want this 1-10 season going against Rob Shaw's dynasty that he may have in this league. So that's why they have these parenthesis names, because as you take over, the later you take over, the more likely you're going to have this. Anyway, in the Battle of the Hitman, his first ever lineup put in is 100.53 points. You're going to have to knock out Antoine Bacon. Most known unknown, Justin Redding. Steel City Sackers are putting up points all year long. And this week just put up 49.61, which is the second lowest, I think, for the week. Death Before Dishonor. Dalton Smith was beat down by I'll Take Your Money, Kevin Wilson. The Junior Chiefs put up 102, which is the high score of the week, thanks mainly to that Colts or the Steelers kicker had a big game. And then File the Missing Person Report, a.k.a. running back Dave Dalton. We won't mention your name again the rest of this year, but right when the NFL playoffs begin, don't forget, we start all over. So don't forget that. So you're not done yet. And then Hoodrich Honky, Rob Gork, beats old Justin Redding's second team, Air Allen, Tim Allen, whatever, losing by 50. And then finally, well, not finally, FarmersOnly.com showing a little bit of pride here. He was 4-7 the regular season, knocking off Super Original, who was 2-9. 88.93 to 56.61. And then Honolulu Blues, Paul Brown takes it to Josh Endicott, 81 to 61, respectively. Now, if you look at the sidebar, we have small font. And for the first time ever, folks, we have a double-lined subject. We don't like to do that because of the weird spacing. But in this situation, it was necessary because I wasn't going to make the font so small as on one line that says, who doesn't listen, read, or watch, okay? So I personally like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving, okay? If you don't have YouTube Premium, you have to have the screen on, but if you have YouTube Premium, turn the screen off. It works great, right? So a lot of people listen to the podcast while they're driving, while they're at work, while they're at home, just sitting there doing nothing. Some people actually watch the podcast and actually watch this ugly mug go through these stats and highlight things and click on things. And then some people if they don't watch or listen to the podcast, at least pay attention to the goddamn Facebook group where I made it a point multiple times to say, hey, these are the people who need to submit a lineup this week, and these are the people who do not need to submit a lineup this week. It was brought up audibly. It was brought up visually. It was brought up textually, which isn't even a word. Maybe I think it is, maybe. But anyway, it was on your face. Listen, watch, read. 3 different ways you could have seen. Maybe I shouldn't waste the lineup because I have a bye in the suck bracket, which most teams did this week. Only the bottom 16 teams or whatever didn't have a bye. So a lot of good teams don't fucking pay attention. They won't even see this, I'm sure. But they wasted, in some cases, a great lineup by playing people when they had a bye. And you can't go back from that, folks. Those players are gone. You guys are morons. You should watch these things. You should read these things. You should listen to these things. Maybe that's why you're in the suck bracket to begin with. Just saying. Anyway, the teams who cannot fucking pay attention or read or watch or listen are as follows. Joe Buck yourself. And you know what? Jordan Craig, I gave you some shit earlier in the year. There's no doubt about it. Maybe you deserve that. But maybe not. I mean, you did put up 27 points against nobody and barely beat them. Let's not forget. Unless maybe, I mean, it's possible you've just thought that maybe you thought you had to start somebody and you started scrubs. Baltimore Ravens playing the freaking Jaguars are not scrubs, though, I can tell you that much. So you wasted these players this week. Congratulations. I hope you get a Medal of Honor of some sort. Then we have Rocky Keeling. Are you kidding me right now? You have to know how this works. Rocky Keeling puts in 81 points, wastes Justin Herbert, Nick Chubb, Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Harrison Butker, and the Jets defense. And Cordarrelle Patterson, who is dog shit, by the way. Every time I see his name, he scores like 3 points. And when I saw him, he scored nothing. Double C's. Cody Cole. I saw you on Saturday, bro. And, yeah, you did tell me. You did tell me that you started a lineup, and I'm like, oh, you don't need to. So you went through and changed it. And apparently you didn't change it because you wouldn't have left Justin Tucker in, which is dumb. You wasted Justin Tucker. Now, these people could come back to haunt you because you guys are still playing for something. Now you see me, now you don't. Ryan Frazier's been in this league since the first year, and apparently he still doesn't watch these things. Waste Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow. I mean, this is just brutal. Everyone wasted Harrison Butker, apparently. I don't know. Who else we got on the loser list here? Not losers. Nasty Nutria. I'm not even going to rag on you because you had a bad week. Savage FC put up 120.85 against nobody. Joe Burrow. Josh Jacobs. He's going to be in the fucking archives for highest score when he didn't play anybody. What are you talking about? Miles Sanders, Travis Kelce. Oh, my God. You guys, I hope you guys burn so bad this week because you wasted your players because you don't watch these podcasts. Stafford. Oh, Mullen Incorporated, you're not off the hook. Kakambas, you're not off the hook. You didn't score good enough. Well, I'm not going to see who everybody starts. Cloco Kiss is the defending champion, and she submitted a lineup. The hell is wrong with you people? Well, you started Sony Michel. At least you didn't waste him. You just wasted Josh Allen. Oh, my God. You were playing it safe, hoping you got in the playoffs, weren't you, girl? Let me tell you something, girl. Golf and balls, nobody cares. But Christopher Russell put up 31 points. Maybe he didn't try to submit a lineup. Derek Gregory sticks it in you. 75 points. Rob Ames, 67 points. Cody Cole's wife, 85 points. Come on, Amber. You're better than that. Hitting Ruggs. Mason Bradley. Team Zemer. I mean, I did reach out to you guys for a reason. And who's this? Devastation Incorporated. Mike Davis, you wouldn't have quit Verizon. I would have told you, don't submit a lineup. But you did. And you also don't watch these podcasts, obviously. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Bradley. The Bradley family is just like, hey, you know what? We should all get together and we should all submit lineups to play nobody. It sounds great. So that's how that works. You weren't supposed to submit lineups. All these people did, which means you don't watch the podcast, you don't read this Facebook page, and you don't obviously listen to the podcast. So let it be known now that you all will be playing this week. Everybody plays this week. What? Oh, no, it's not Alex Jones out front. Thank God. Anyway, my throat hurts. I'm getting to the next thing. This week's games. Comcast Internet, I'm glad I pay money for. I have Verizon Internet too. They haven't hooked it up. I'm an idiot. This week's games. James St. Germain won in great fashion. 17 seed beats 16 seed. Their prize is getting to play. You know who it is. Chunky. That's a chunky. Louis Diana, the number 1 overall seed, will be playing the Patriots. Bleeding Blue Bombers. Pat Provost Sr. taking on Mama G out of retirement. That's a good game there, folks. Both 8-3 in the regular season. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs finally wins a game. They're on a... Well, I actually think they won 2 in a row to get to this point, but... Well, no, they won 1 game in the regular season, so it's 2 in a row now. Anyway, they're taking on Ketchup and Mostert, Alex Harrison. Postwag narrowly hangs on. Their prize is to get to play Bobby Wood, always up to no good. Show Me Them TDs with a 100-point performance. Takes on Pat Provost Jr., I guess. Pay Calvin his money, taking on Vincent Vallada. As a lot of Vallada hasn't had a regular season meaningful matchup in like a month. No joke. I think he got 3 straight buys and then this week's buy. Holy crap. He's going to have some people in the chamber. He's got to be the odds-on favorite. Check the Vegas odds. Fly Eagles fly after that heartbreaking defeat for Kristen. Taking on Paul Wallenwine just here so I don't get fined. That rhymes. And then finally, Garrity's Gigolos taking on DeWyans. These are the games in the muscle bracket. The suck bracket. Hey, pay attention. Yeah, everyone submits a lineup this week, period. Which goes on to the next thing, by the way. BVC taking on the Black Hole. Stafford's Bastards taking on Digger Phelps. Young Bubba's Players take on the Dublin Junks. Hittin' Rugs taking on Devastation Incorporated, who did submit a lineup last week. The Hitman, formerly Tips and Tricks, takes on True Blue Wrecking Crew. Goff and Balls taking on Brady's Balls in the Battle of the Balls. Baby of Troy Atkintrakeman taking on Watson Spawn Masseuse. They're both Tom Farmer teams. He can get away with only starting 1 lineup if he wants because he'll beat the other person. Shark Attack versus Nasty Nutria, who submitted a lineup, didn't need to. Most Known Unknown versus Kakambas. Ladies and Edelman taking on Concussion Protocol. Brady O'Bush taking on Now You See Me, Now You Don't. In a battle of perennial Final Four teams here. They're not in the Final Four. They're not even in the muscle bracket this year, but it's still going to mean a lot. Sticks It In You taking on Nantab Knights. I'll Take Your Money taking on New Orleans Rock Chucks. Let's put a lineup in. Providence Power taking on Mullen Incorporated. Coming from behind, formerly Tire Up, now owned by Greg Munger, taking on Giggle Giggle. The Clockwork Elves taking on Alshon Jeffrey, didn't kill himself. Honolulu Blues taking on Honolulu Blues, taking on Granny's Baloney Curtains. Sorry. Suck It taking on Aiken for a Ship. You Feel Lucky Punk taking on Squadrels. There's a lot of games here, folks. My Balzac Hurts taking on Play With Mike Ditka. There's a couple of usual playoff teams there, too. FarmersOnly.com, former champion, fresh off their win, taking on Scott Muckovitz's Muckers. Double C's taking on Joe Buck Yourself, Jordan Craig. Brady's Backup taking on Team Zemer, change your name. Chubberts taking on 99% Luck, 1% Heart. Hood Rich Honky taking on former champion Your Mother Likes My Defense. Lakers taking on Hanging Out with Mr. Hernandez. I think my throat's bleeding. It's so dry. Conservatism is the New Counterculture taking on Savage FC after his 120-point performance against nobody. Better Bring Your A-Game taking on Do You Even Swift Bro. The Junior Chiefs taking on Josh Crampton. Can they knock him out for good? That's the question. The Nuts taking on Vic in a Box. Cloakle Kiss taking on You're in Trouble, Kyle Stoker. And then Whispering Eyes taking on Stephen Bailey's Rays. That's the matchups I see. Everybody should submit a lineup this week, no matter who you are. Even if you lost last week, you can try to submit a lineup, and it'll say you're not playing anybody. I have nothing to lose now. It's people who submitted a lineup last week who still had games to play that they shouldn't have done that. All right, Facebook trophy case, that's coming this week, hopefully. We're going to immortalize the conference winners on the Facebook Wall of Fame. We'll have it on the muscle page, too. That's just something I want to do as a side job there to make the Facebook page look a little bit more presentable. No randomizer. That means only for the suck bracket. Don't forget, there is no randomizer for the suck bracket. So if you do not submit a lineup, you just get an automatic loss. Nobody cares in the suck bracket. People do care when you're playing for a ton of money. And then finally, Super Squares, as luck would have it. Mac Jones put up a hell of a performance, 382 yards. Geno Smith, 328. 328. And oh, James Seagraves finally gets a win. It's been a long time since I had a win. There it is. It's official. So that's that. Get your lineups in. How long is this podcast right now? 20 minutes. It's about perfect. So, all right. Everyone submit a lineup. God. I wish you would have not submitted a lineup this week, some of you people. Anyway, have a good one. Huge Thursday night game this week, I think, right? I think it's the Bills-Patriots. Looking forward to it. Talk to you later.